All right, how are we doing, guys? My name is Ben,
This is Andrew.
and we are continuing with Dr. Stone, episode 5. What's the title of this one? I don't think I read the title of the last one. So, Stone World, The Beginning.
Stone
So,
World, the beginning.
Go ahead and give us a little recap of what just happened.
Well, Senku did get to make some gunpowder. And or black is it black powder? Yeah, black powder. And he I said gunpowder, well, same thing though.
Similar, yeah.
And they made an explosion and made a big old like smoke stream into the sky. And then someone else started making a smoke, and then they were like, "Yo, let's go ahead and light it up because let's go ahead and let them know we're here." Like that wasn't just something random. That was we're people. We're here. It was on purpose. We're here, my guy. So
We're
they did
here,
that.
my guy.
But he stated before they set the smoke that it's a double-edged sword because Tsukasa is also on his way. So, and it will indefinitely give away their location. So, with that being said, my man Tsukasa shows up, grabs Yuzu as uses Yuzu as a hostage, while Senku is like bent over doing something with the smoke, and pretty much
he's keeping the fire lit.
Yeah, and at this time also Taiju is out collecting sticks. So it's just him and Yuzu at the camp, and he tells Senku that he's pretty well. He uses what's her name as leverage, like puts the blade to her and then cuts her hair completely off to kind of like show like I ain't scared to use this blade to cut this girl's throat,
which was also really precise.
Yeah,
so fast that he was able to cut her hair without hitting any part of her neck.
And what you would call it? He did that, and then she was like, "Oh, thank you, I needed that anyway." And then she took the blade.
With some baller move, just saying.
And then she took the blade and put it to her throat and said, "Senku, you have the knowledge to save humanity. Please don't tell him, because if you tell him, he has no reason to let you live. And I will be willing." She pretty much said, like, I'm willing to die so you can save humanity. And
Facts.
Senku kind of giggled because I think in his heart he knew that was true what she said. Obviously I'm the GOAT, and he couldn't kill me if I don't give him my secret, right? Which I think I stated that. Didn't I state that like when we first met Tsukasa, where I think it was when they first had the disagreement, where I said I don't think he'd be willing to kill Senku because the knowledge he has and everything. But
yeah,
now but Senku decided to bite the bullet, I guess. But like I said, my theory on that is because since other people had created smoke, and that he knows that other people in this world are alive and walking, and it wasn't because of him, that he's hoping that someone also knows a serum of some sort, or knows the serum and knows how to free people from being stoned. So I guess at that point he was like, you know what? I'm gonna sacrifice myself. I did what I had to do. I got my best friends out, and I ain't gonna let them die because of my science hungriness, which isn't a bad thing. But I mean, I wouldn't have kill me personally. I'm like, yo, you the homie, and you the homie's girl, but like, I'm kind of smart.
But that was his boy's girl, bro.
Yeah, so. I know it is, but
that was his boy's girl, bro.
And that would have been lit if we had like a Vegeta moment where like Tsukasa like stabbed her like in the neck, and Taiju saw it, and he just like went ballistic, and then like they just had like this like sweet like big dude fight, even though Tsukasa's kind of OP when it comes to
Tsukasa would body. He already did technically.
Yeah, but he did state, "You're the first person to take a full-on shot from me and not fall." Or
it was a little delayed.
It was delayed.
He fell.
He fell, but he ate it off the rip though.
It's true.
He punched a lion with a full swing. Yeah, he kicked Tsukasa. He kicked Taiju. He punched the lion, but
kicks are usually at minimum like twice as powerful as a punch.
I was literally getting ready to say, and like any combat sport ever, kicks always do more damage, and like you said, they are more, they're usually more powerful than a punch. So that even more testament to what Taiju did then, because he kicked him, and he straight up was like block, and then stood up for like 20 seconds, and then it hit him.
His brain was like, error, do not
Yeah.
compute, brain.exe, logging off. Like,
But if he had saw the love of his life die in his hand, though, that might have flipped the little script. So, don't know. But I still think Tsukasa would murder him, obviously. But I'm just saying that would have been a cool fight. But that's not what happened. Senku gives him the serum because that's what he wanted was the ingredients to the serum, how he did it. Exactly. Tells him. And then Senku goes, I have to kill you pretty much now, right? Like I just have to. Because I know that eventually you're gonna try to kill me. Because that's what you were planning on doing, and I know you're gonna stick with it because you don't agree with my ways.
Yeah. I can see that. I can see
that. I think that was like what he was hinting at. But he also still gave him a chance though, and was like, if you promise not to use science, weapons of science, is that what he used? Weapons of science, right? Yeah.
No, he's like, if you promise to just abandon science
abandon science
forever.
Yeah. Because he didn't want the ways of old civilization to come back, and he was like, I don't even want you touching science, just abandon it. And then Senku pretty much, after we get a little backstory of Senku and how he, is the way he is, pretty much tells him straight up, like, I can't do that. And he goes, I figured that would be your answer. I really don't want to have to do this, so I'm going to ask you again. Then he, word for word, literally said it again, what he said, please abandon science. And he had also just made the statement that, if we had met 3,700 years ago, you probably would have been my first friend.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, in all those cuts where he's talking about killing him or having to kill him or not wanting to kill him, he has emotions on his face. And I don't think we've really seen emotions on Tsukasa's face, except for I think the one time, besides this last episode, we saw him have emotion on his face is when he put 2 and 2 together that they were making black powder. That was the other time I think we saw emotion in his face. And that was when his hair was like sticking up and he was like raged. But
I would also say when he was in the sleeping bag or like in the little tent or whatever.
Yes.
Like he was very much like
he had like serious like something
which is an emotion.
yeah. So touche. Okay, so we've seen a little bit of emotion, but
like a variety of emotions. I think that's what you're maybe going for.
That's the way to do it because he started off that whole confrontation kind of angry, and then it became like emotional, and then from what we saw, he killed him. At least we think so. Well, but I think he's dead, but I don't want him to be dead. I tried to theorize any way I could around him not being dead. But
Yuzu's actually the main character.
Oh, bars? It's not the new character Thiku. It's not Thiku. But I was saying we got to see a character off in the distance. We got to see one of the people creating the smokes. So
it's true. Blonde hair, blue eyes, apparently thick. That's what Andrew said. So
don't quote me on that.
I'll write that in the history books. All right. All right. So we're going to move to the reaction. If you would like to help us out, if you're not going to watch the discussion afterward, if you could just have it playing in the background, just mute it or something, that will help the YouTube algorithm. But other than that, go ahead and head to the description for the reaction.
Like, bro, that was, bro. I didn't call it, but like I knew that neck cracking meant something. Like I was like, it has to mean something.
Yeah, if you watch this back, you'll see. I was quite surprised when you said that. Actually,
really?
Yeah.
Because I literally, because like he'd always kept doing this, and I was thinking.
I mean, I do that all the time, but please don't break my neck.
I was wrong. I was wrong for what I said. I thought it meant, but no, because he did die. He was dead. So yes. I guess, but I didn't think that. What I had said was that I think it was like the show, like the writers indicating that's how he was showing how he's going to die. Like that was a hint. Like, hey,
y'all called on. You're right. Definitely was how he died.
But it is how he died. But I didn't know that he was purposely doing that in front of Tsukasa so that if that moment did come, that he would hopefully like place that like in his brain, like like have like a mental how what's the word I'm trying to think, man? I just said it the other day talking to somebody. It's like I forget the wording I use for it, but it's like when something happens and you do it unconsciously, like you know it unconsciously knowing it. Does that make sense? I'm trying to think of the word for
Subconscious.
it. Yeah, is that what it is? You subconsciously know you yeah, that's the word I think is what I'm coming. I'm sorry, I forget what I used. The other day
I don't know.
for
You have to give me
example.
more so I can actually figure out the word.
No, yeah, it is subconscious. Like you do something, and you didn't even know you knew it, but you knew it, not realizing that you knew it. The type thing. Does that make sense? So like he like subconsciously planted in Sukasa's head that his neck was going to be where to attack because he kept cracking it. So it like
Well, I
kind of
think if you go back, as soon as Tsukasa came around,
uh-huh.
like Senku was immediately suspicious, right?
Yeah, oh
And
immediately.
I'm pretty
Yeah, I
sure
remember
that's
that.
when the neck cracking started.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. But yeah, so
I mean, you have to kind of think about this like a chess game, like
yeah.
in a sense, like not like don't think of this as a chess
No,
game,
no,
but
no,
like
you're wrong.
put your use it like a chess game, right? Someone as
Yeah.
smart as Senku, right?
Yeah.
He obviously
Yeah.
knew that he was going to get killed,
I
but
don't
that's why
well,
he was just like, this guy's seriously dangerous, right? So
yeah,
then
yeah.
he planned so far ahead. He's
Yeah.
like, he's gonna like, I'm gonna plan ahead, and I'm
Uh-huh.
gonna make him plan even further ahead. And by
Yeah.
me doing that, I'm gonna plan even further ahead than him planning farther ahead than I'm planning ahead.
So it
So
wasn't so he do you say or so are you saying that he knew so when he was making the black powder, are you saying that he wasn't even gonna have the means to make a firearm? And he was just
uh
he he
yeah,
was
that's what I would go with.
okay, so you thought
From
so
what I know, because I've only seen this show maybe twice,
well,
maybe,
I
right?
was my perspective on it would
Mm-hmm.
be that as a scientist, you know, they have like hypothesis, you know, they go through the list of stuff,
Yep.
and I'm sure that
Oh, you'll see that.
he
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure that he had every scenario in his head written down of what was going to happen. Like not like every single absolute scenario, but like he had like, you know, if we don't get the weapon done in time and he catches me, I have to have this planned. And then like, you know, like he broke down scenario
Like,
for like what
I haven't seen. I don't know too much about the character, but I know of the character.
uh,
What is it, Doctor Strange?
yeah, Doctor Strange, yes.
So how he plans out a billion different whatevers, and he's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"This is the only one that will work."
Yeah, I was literally
Right.
it's
So
funny, I was
it's
gonna bring that
literally
up.
like the
I was
exact same thing.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up too, but I didn't. You said you haven't seen them all, so I didn't know if you would know that reference. I
No,
was literally gonna reference it.
I've seen a bunch of clips
Yeah, yeah,
all
yeah.
over
Yeah, so no,
all
what
over
happened
it.
in that scene was is that it's essentially I guess the same. He says he has the time stone, he can go back and you know forward through time, and he had went through time something million times, and then Iron Man goes, okay, well, how many times did we win out of those 13? I'll say 13 million. 13 million times. He's like, yeah, out of all those times I went through there, we win once. But yeah, you know, so like he said, like you like, so I guess in a sense, Senku did the same thing with running down every scenario in his head, like you know,
And
he
like I
get,
said, this is like chess players, because a lot of chess players,
mhm.
like if you've ever sat down and watched like a chess player like look at the board state,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
right? The other person will make one move, right?
yeah,
I've sat here and I've watched people like pros and stuff, like and they were like, and they just started listing out, like, you know how they have like letters and numbers, so
yeah,
they'll be like the person will move their pawn forward, and they'll be like, okay, so I'll go, you know, c4, this, and then like my move, their
yeah,
move, my move, their move, and they're like 30 moves ahead, and the dude moved his pawn.
yeah, yeah.
Like, and then they're just like, yeah, so obviously, you know, I'm gonna have check in, you know, 18 moves. It's like,
That's a,
I'm like,
and
the dude moved his pawn. Like, what are you
almost
talking about?
that's like, but you know, that's like with any I'm trying. How do I word that? That's really any encounter of anything one on one, like any competition of any
Yeah,
sort.
but I think chess is
But
the best way to
yeah,
describe
but
it.
explain
So
it because like being one step ahead of your opponent or playing my like using how do I even? Like, I'm trying to think of
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Because this is how I would compare it, right? Because this is just because I'm a sports head and I'm like a sports guy.
Yeah, you could even.
And I was like, so I was really good at Madden at one point, like, the game Madden, and defense in Madden is almost like a chess game because so how I would play, right? So if I knew a kid was like doing pretty good, I would subconsciously I would let them have certain routes. Like I would give them like easy routes over and over, and then I would start taking them away. Well, I would let them get comfortable with, let's say, like a certain play where they knew they could throw a certain play against me, quote unquote. And I would then later on in the game when it was do or die, I would give them that same impression that I was going to leave that one guy open, and then I would bait them and come back, intercept the ball, and then go for a touchdown. It's like, being one step ahead of your opponent and then giving them certain things to where they think they can do certain things, and then really it's their downfall.
Yep.
So it's
I mean, I think that I think it's Sun Tzu, the guy who wrote Art of War. I think I have his name right.
Yeah.
I think a line from there is most wars are won before they even start.
Yep.
So, I mean, psychological warfare. So I'm pretty sure Senku had this planned out. Like the second that before he had even broken out, and he was like, what is the situation? And he was like, oh no, this, like, I don't think, maybe not at that point, but maybe like during the fight, he's like, oh yeah, this dude's seriously dangerous. And then that's when he started running the gears. And then maybe, a couple hours into it, he's like, I can't see myself making it out of this alive. So let me plan for death and see what I can do.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I think I think, like I said, I think he's going down a list of things. And that what just happened was the last case, like, worst case scenario. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure when he was making that black powder, I don't know if he had the means for a weapon. But if he did, I'm sure he was still going to try to make a weapon or figure out a way to kill him with him being alive. I mean, no one willingly wants to die. You know what I mean? So I don't think that he came in knowing that he was going to die, but he definitely, I don't think, like you said, he's definitely planning 10 steps ahead. So
here's an interesting thought. What if he was planning to make a gun after he came back?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So he was planning gunpowder, but he knew that he was going to die.
He knew that he probably wouldn't have the time to craft such a weapon. That's probably what it is. And
he's like, I can make the material now.
I see what you're saying. I can make the compound I'm going to need for it.
Yeah.
But there's no way I'm going to be able to build the actual weapon itself. I don't have the means or the time right now. But if he can get Tsukasa to think that he's dead, then Tsukasa no longer has a reason to chase them, meaning that he will now have pretty much with Tsukasa. We don't know who else pops up in the show, if there's any other bad guys yet. But with Tsukasa, he no longer has to deal with Tsukasa chasing him. So he has pretty much almost infinite time to get this done, unless somehow Tsukasa catches on and finds them. But I think that they are now he does not give a crap about those guys anymore. But Tsukasa did show second guessing himself at the end of this for a minute. He was like, I'm definitely hit him in his thing. Like, what's the point? But like, you would only say that to yourself if you weren't second guess. You know what I mean? Like, you second guess yourself. You know what I mean? It's kind of like.
Well, I think it was more of a respect play to Senku.
Yeah.
Because it was like, because I think he's just like, Senku's just so smart. Like, I mean, if you're gonna sit, like, if you're sitting there and let's bring it back to your Madden game, right? And you got paired up against a pro, and you were doing that thing that you were saying, right? And like, you get in that final play, and you're like, oh man, like, I got one more play. Like, I know definitely I can trick him. But I'm like, but this guy's a pro. Like, what if he knows and he just completely does a Hail Mary rather than a close throw?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not set up for a close. I'm pulling my dude forward. What if, like, what? So that's what I think is going on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, too. By the way, I did play pros back in the day in Madden. Shout out to myself when I was good. Not now though. Garbage now.
Watch him suck on his Twitch. You know?
But oh, whatchamacallit? No, I understand that. But it's kind of like I don't know, like if he was having a moment though, where it's like you know how like you have like your like you say your phone and like you set it somewhere and then you come back and it's not there, but you're like, yeah, I definitely sat it there. It's like he was like, yeah, I definitely hit him in that nerve. So like there's no way that he can.
You're like, did I mess up? Like
That's
no,
what
like I definitely hit him.
He didn't say those words. Like I messed up. Like so. Granted, I could be just completely wrong, but because he was like looking up in the sky and he was like in deep thought when he said it, it's almost like he was saying it out loud to reinsure himself. And it's like in his thoughts he was like second guessing himself. I think like could they really bring him back to life? But he's like, and that's why he said out loud like, "There's no way I hit him in serve. Like I hit him in a serve or his thing. Like there's no way, right? There's no way. I don't understand what they're trying to do." So I don't know.
It's more just like, why is this the path that they're choosing?
I know because that's actually what he said. Like, why are they doing this? Because I definitely hit him in the thing.
Yeah,
but like I said, because he was in such deep thought about it, I feel like there was a second of it. Maybe he didn't have it, but it was like maybe a second of it. Like,
because I mean, had this been a like a world like this, you could technically just leave the body and just walk away.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just like well, what would happen? Some birds would get him, like a lion or something would probably find him really fast.
Yeah,
I mean, bury him for whatever, but no, they took the body and ran.
Yeah.
And it was like this was after, and they did that after he was like, yeah, y'all should like give him a proper goodbye.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could definitely see the second.
I think it's a slight second guess, and because I mean he is very precise, and like you said, it's almost like they threw in just that. Not that we hadn't already seen his precision, but they added in the little haircut scene right beforehand, just to remind us.
Just be like, yeah, just remember how clean this man is, you know.
Yeah. But I'm sure with what he did, I'm sure if it's the slightest like centimeter off, it could not work. So maybe he's thinking he just slightly missed, just barely in his head. Like, did I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like maybe because like I'm so accurate all the time, I could have messed up and think I'm accurate.
Yeah.
Right.
We've seen, and that's been in. God, there's so many like maybe not necessarily animes, but I'm sure there is. Where there's like bad guys who think they're so perfect and then, like they do their move or something and they're like, yeah, he's done for. I definitely, that's the GOAT move.
But doesn't this make him like Tsukasa even more scary than those people?
Oh yeah. Oh, Tsukasa.
Because he's like thinking, he's like,
Because he I will say Tsukasa's smart, but just because of that subconscious play that freaking Senku did, bro, with the nut cracking, Senku's pretty disgusting with the brains, my guy. Dude, like he subconsciously placed a thing in your head to make you hit him in his neck. Like that's crazy. Oh man, that's insane, dude. That's insane. I really thought they were killing Senku off, man. I really thought.
I mean, they did.
I mean, they did. They did for an episode.
They did kill him off. He did die.
He did die.
He just he did it again.
Yeah.
He brought it back. Yeah.
Yeah.
So so here we got a pretty cool like imagery of Tsukasa joining.
Yeah.
So in the actual version, Taiju was the one who went and got the stuff while Senku was working on it. But in this one, he was picturing himself as their friend.
Oh, dude, they would be such a beastly force if that really did happen, though. Like, bro.
Force?
Yeah, force, bro. A force to be reckoned with. Yo, can you imagine
a force?
Oh, ha. Yo, is this team team Stone with
STT?
No, because it would be Taiju, Tsukasa is T's, and then you got Senku, which is S, and then you have.
Well, no, he'd be the leader though.
Yeah. So
STTY.
Sty. Team Sty.
Yeah, you could be. It could be Sight. SYTT. Sight.
Yeah, that's true.
Like and like an experimentation site, you know.
Oh.
Team Sight.
Oh, we making up teams out here, yo. Because because Taiju's naturally pretty strong, and because of what's his name's primate skills, he could teach Taiju his ways. And then him and Taiju would be the absolute brute forces to mess with, and then you just got the brains.
We got the tank, we got the brain, we got the fight, we got the waifu.
Yeah, we got the waifu. So it's like, bro, like, yo, super squad. If that was a thing, that would have been a super squad. But yeah.
So Taiju sees him die in front of him. He's like, you should give him a proper farewell. And then he senses this. So he sensed this like what? He's like, what is that? Yeah. It's like, it's over 9,000. So he was worried that he would rage, but instead he grabs a rock. A big rock. Very heavy rock. They're like, no, we made a promise, it'll work. This man chucks the rock in there. He's like, Tsukasa is gonna be watching me. Easy. You know, Yuzu goes and grabs the black powder, chucks it at him. My man's just back kicks it.
I feel like Taiju that right there had fat respect for Tsukasa, because after he threw that rock, he sat completely still. I think he knew if he even moved an inch, Tsukasa was gonna try to kill him. He literally chucked it like this, and then just like. Like, he didn't even move his eyes. Like, he literally kept his eyes
up. He's like, don't move, don't even blink.
He's like, this man's got a freaking half a spear in his hand. He was stabbing the crap out of me. Yeah. Oh, man.
So here's the part where you're talking about. What's the point of fleeting?
Yeah, feeling. Yeah, fleeting.
Like, I shattered his cervical nerve for sure.
And that's, like I said, it's like, usually when people say that, it's like, it's kind of like, I use the whole, like, when you lose something, you're like, I definitely sat it there. Like, I for sure sat it there.
Yeah.
But he's like, I for sure hit him right there. I know I did.
There's no way to revive him, especially in a stone world with no medicine. So he's like, he's going through the plays in his head.
See, he's like, dude, he's doubting. He's doubting. He didn't say he's doubting, but he's doubting. I know he is.
I think it's less doubt and more like reassuring himself, just as you said before.
Yeah, he's reassuring himself.
Which is because he has doubt.
Yeah, but he has doubt. Yeah.
But the doubt is more in the back. That's what's spawning him needing to reinforce his own actions.
He must have heard you, bro. He's like, he's basing it off of, no body, no death, no body, no death. You know what I'm saying? He don't know where the body is, so now he don't know if he's dead or not. You know what I'm saying? He can't be for sure.
Of course, from what we've seen in Red versus Blue, apparently mouth to mouth fixes everything. So. Yeah.
Just 50 cal bullets to the brain. Bro. CPR, bro. Got you, brother.
CPR. Yo, I'm gonna start using that. It's like, yo, I'm down. Andrew, give me CPR, bro.
Dude, if they added an animation like that in Apex, I would geek.
I just be down to myself all the time.
Dude, you just see like Bloodhound or like Baby walk up and just start kissing them and like getting CPR. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Okay, so this is where she sacrificed him.
Yeah.
Right. And do you notice who's on the book?
Yeah, it's that one character from the opener.
Yeah.
I didn't notice.
So magic psychology, Asagiri Gin. So it's the names are backwards in Japanese. So Gin is his first name. Asagiri is his last name.
Okay.
So, but yeah. So magic psychology. There's a word behind it. I think it's also psychology, but I don't know. So the psychology quiz is that there's an incident where you can only save your friend, yourself, or your lover. So it's like, who would you choose?
Yeah.
Do you save yourself? Do you save your friend, or do you save your lover?
Myself.
So it's like, boy, I can't enjoy this world without myself in it. You know what's
That's the selfish thing I've heard. Yeah, it's kind of the point.
Yeah. How am I supposed to know that they're alive if I'm not the one who makes sure they're dead? Okay, like come on, like it's got. But no. So Senku pulls a big brain. He's like, I'll look for a fundamental rule that lets all of us be saved, or lets us all be saved. So what? So the three people in there was Taiju, Yuzu, and Senku.
Yep.
Like what is the play that leaves all three of them alive? So
yeah, placing that subconscious neck break, my guy.
Like try to remember, I think deliberately trying to attack his neck, and he noticed, right? He wasn't paying attention during the formula making and all this stuff, but he noticed that this was weird.
Yeah.
He's like, why was he doing that? It's weird. And then it's like, there's a piece of the I thought this was really funny. Just because, like, it's raining. What if he poured it and the rain just kind of washed it off and nothing happened?
A waste of time.
They put him under no, like leaf. Bush or a tree or go to a cave. They didn't wait till daytime. They were just like, it's fine. Like, and this the only place they know where the revival fluid is.
Hold on. You know how they were giving him CPR?
Yeah.
Or dude, what if he wakes up going, oh, my chest. Oh, I can't breathe. What's going on?
Because you know that when people do CPR, most, like, I don't know the statistic, most of the time they break ribs.
Yeah, they break ribs. They have to. They say they say like it's a huge percent of the time. Like 9 times out of 10, you have to.
Yeah, you're breaking the ribs, and it's like,
yeah. So it's like,
he wakes up, and his like a rib is like stabbing him in the heart, and he just dies again. Right back to the CPR, bro.
Oh my god, bro.
So here I thought it was interesting. I wonder why there's an extra U. I was trying to figure that out because, like, literally right here it says his name. So Senku.
Yo, they said Senku 3 because guess what? He's getting ready to have his third try at life again, bro. Check it. He had his first life, and then he turned into stone, and then he came back after being stoned, and then he died, and now he's about to come back from being dead. Third try, bang. Yo, third the charm, my guy.
All right, and then we get to see his his time. So this is the year 3718. Right, that's what it is.
Where are they? Where are they at now?
Japan. They were in Japan.
I know, but I'm saying, what year are they in now? Like, what they're all
3718.
Oh,
he said this is the 3718th spring.
Okay, I got you.
Or 3718th spring.
Yeah.
So, because they said it's been 3,700 years. I think the show came out in 2017. I think.
Okay.
So, could be wrong, but.
Dang, and they just came out with season 2?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Great picture right here, just saying. But see how he's already, like, drawing himself out?
Yeah.
Like, the second he wakes up, he doesn't waste any time. And then he gathers all of the pieces of his petrification. He's just like, what is this? But he gathers it all and just, like, stores it. Right. Obviously, the monkeys aren't actually talking, but it's funny. So.
Yeah.
So he marks down what the day is.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes and he shows once again that he is not an all-powerful machine himself.
Yeah.
Right. He shows that he has to innovate, and this is what real science is like.
Yeah.
So he's creating he's creating stone tools. He's creating fire. He creates traps and stuff so that he can catch a deer. He finally catches one, and then he uses the hide to pretty much build himself. I don't know what this is. Maybe he's like thinning it out or something, I guess.
Yeah.
I would assume maybe he's maybe thinning it because I feel like hide would be kind of thick. So if he thins it,
there like a process where I don't know why he'd be using his mouth. I don't know.
I mean, he doesn't have tools. So
there's a process though. I was gonna say where you have to you have to moisturize it a certain way or something to where you can manipulate it I don't know. Maybe he was trying to just manipulate that one
I
spot.
mean, he
guess.
has a lot
I
of
don't know.
moisture all over his body. I'm
Yeah,
sure you
yeah.
just wipe
lays
it.
on it. Just lays on it. Oh, okay, there we go. That's enough.
So, and then it shows all of his mushrooms and stuff. And he's
Yeah.
like, they're all like, ah. He's like, I'm the only one of my kind. Because he's trying to figure out, he was looking at the way the monkeys were responding. He's like, they've never, like, they're acting as if they've never seen my kind before.
Yeah.
So he's like, I have to be the only one, you know? And then outro song.
That's it.
Yeah,
Man.
buddy.
That was pretty good, man. They really thought he was gone for good. I was gonna be upset. I was actually gonna be upset. Like my heart was gonna hurt really bad. He was gone for good.
Dude, Senku is great. No, he's actually the main character. Until he dies again.
Oh, facts. Next episode, guys, again.
Yeah, he dies every other episode, and the in between is just them rezzing him.
You know, freaking Tsukasa just cross the map, throws the knife on him, and then he doesn't watch the kill. He doesn't watch the kill cam because he thought he got kicked.
It was one time. Let it go. Let it go.
I will never forget that.
Okay, so we're going to move on. If you guys would like to support us, liking, commenting, subscribing, also lets YouTube know about us through the algorithm. You know, checking out the links in the description, our Twitches, and also check out the Patreon if you want to see what we're doing in the future.
Oh, yeah.
But other than that, we will see you all in the next one.
Deuces.